What is up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Addiction is a Scam. I'm Breaking Chains. You can call me BC, and as you already know, this right here is the Stigma Lounge. As you can see, it's very festive Stigma Lounge this evening. We'll get down to that, but I'm gonna bring y'all in, sit you down. I don't know where y'all been. I've been worried sick about you. You don't call, you don't write. Haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. Man, come on, sit down. Let's get right to the skinny. So, I don't know where y'all been, but I'll tell you real quick what's been going on with us. So, 2 weeks ago, we had some hard drive issues. Tomorrow night's guest can definitely attest to that. She was a product of one of the episodes that we recorded, and what happened was, so we get done, and oh man, it was like such a perfect recording. Like the episode was on point. The Q&As were there. Like it flowed. It looked like two people that have been doing this stuff for 15 years. Not to mention she got up extra early that morning. She's out in Utah. I'm on the East Coast, so time difference there. I kind of got to start these episodes by really 9, 10 at the latest, because I have a part-time job that I go down to while my child's at school. I told y'all about that before. I've told y'all that before, so that's nothing new. So anyway, she gets up early. We shoot this thing. We crush it. Like no, no nothing. No like, oh, eh, I don't like doing this, but well, I'll edit that one out and then ask the question again. None of that stuff. All A1, perfect. She's heading out of town. Like just good moods, good vibes, good shoot, and we get done. I go do my little thing and throw it on my disc here for backup, and like it's not what I'm seeing. It's not there. So I'm like, what's going on with this thing? Like, so I'm looking through the computer. I'm like, where is this? What's going on? I'm digging, and I'm seeing one for like 33 seconds or whatever, and I'm just kind of assuming that that's the. We always do a little test, quick, make sure that all the audio is on point, everything's good. And I'm like, that's got to be that one. So I never really actually clicked on it for until I got back home from my part-time job that afternoon. When I clicked on it and watched those 33 seconds, it was not our test run. What it was the first 33 seconds of the episode, because what I didn't realize was going on the whole time. Like I said, I back up to that SanDisk, and then I thought it was good. Throw it in the trash. We're all good. Got it on that hard drive on this. Plus, I pay for the extra 2 terabytes um, of the cloud, but 100% on me, because I have the phone, the work phone, linked to the work computer, so the texts are all going back and forth, are all coming to the computer and to the phone. So that means all the text, all the photos, everything is on the hard drive of the computer. There wasn't enough room for the computer to do its thing, well, for more than 33 seconds, and just a whole debacle. So then, like, now I got to figure out a way to apologize to this doll who's such a. I can't wait to air the episode tomorrow. She's a great lady. Um, had her own struggles with substance abuse, well, alcoholism. Um, and she's a nurse. Like, she's a very educated individual. Lives in a very nice part of the country, and it just shows that like this stuff doesn't discriminate. Whether we all can agree on whether it's the disease or not, that's still up for debate, in my opinion. But it is what it is. We'll get into that in a second. Let's talk about what today is. Today is for many, it is Christmas. So to all of y'all that celebrate that, Merry Christmas. Um, you know, my family always has. We have a good time with it. Um, and as I've gotten older, and even before I delved into this, I just always felt like it was uh it was fun. It was a lot of fun as a kid, and it's fun like now having a kid, do all the things, make all the happiness. It is about the giving. As a child, you don't really understand that, and that's fine. You still have your innocence. Like, who wouldn't be pumped, to get some things and just celebrate? But my broader point with that is this: where we're at now, and especially on this topic of things, there's those of us who really want to try and help and make progress with this epidemic that we have sweeping across our country. The proportions are just, it's saddening. I truly believe in my heart and soul that if I have it my way and this podcast does its thing and gets to a point where it's generating money and I can start putting up sober living houses, rehabilitation centers, that I can honestly make serious change, if not get us to a point where it's like, you know, homelessness is way down, if even existent. Um, the message is out there of like, you all have heard me say this before, let us be the ones that did this the hard way. It's way different now. Uh, we didn't have to carry around test kits, all that stuff. It's just everything is so different. But I truly do believe that in my heart and soul. A lot of people, my whole life, with anything, I always go into it with that amount of confidence. I love bringing my confidence wherever I go, and it's just how I move. Um, but because it's not that it's a simple thing. I just think that the way that it's been approached has has kind of got off topic a little bit, and it kind of goes back to that given. Like right now, well, it'd have been about an hour ago. I could have been sitting down eating a prime rib dinner. That's what we do on Christmas. I didn't do that. I chose not to. Like my aunts, uncles, cousins, their kids, my daughter, my mother, my stepfather. I have a half brother. Um, they're all there. That's what they're doing. And I said, no, I want to shoot this episode, and then I want to go live in a couple of the Facebook groups just to make sure if there's anyone out there like who doesn't have anybody to talk to have a live chat open, to be there for those people, because like I've been in those impossible situations before. I've been just sitting, by yourself, and you're trying to get through it, and like that you can because you have. And maybe I'm not a day counter. I never have been. I we'll touch on that later on too in the episode. But I just think it's so depressing if you fall back, if you slip up, if you relapse, whatever, and then it's like it already sucks because you like let yourself down, you let your family members down, whoever else. Maybe you're trying to save a relationship, and because of that action, that relationship is no longer an option, so you let that person down, but again, let yourself down. So I just think it's just this big whole thing of like these days counting, and that's just my personal opinion. This stuff is unique to each and every individual, so don't let my opinion on that sway yours. If what you're doing works for you, please keep doing what works for you. So yeah, the giving, and that's what I felt like I could give to the community on Christmas this year. Um, I just I don't know. It wouldn't have sat right with me knowing that I put this time, this energy, and then so many others have taken time and energy to work with me. We don't just get on the phone. Hey, you want to do a podcast? And the next day we do it. Like, there's a lot of time that goes into this. There's a lot of Zoom meetings, um, remote meetings, whatever you want to call them, emails back and forth, messages, ideas, just a lot of bouncing back and forth. Some of these people I talked to for months before we film an episode, and it wouldn't be fair to them. Like, if I just kind of selfishly only worked on this when I felt it fit my schedule. Sometimes we need to make sacrifice, and in this more so than ever, that is true. One thing I would like to give thanks to, speaking of giving, is I'd like to give thanks to all our first responders, especially the seems like every time I turn around nowadays, because we've hit that 20-year mark, 22 years, 23, 24 years. A lot of whether it's state troopers, FDNY, any of those first responders that went down to 9/11. Unfortunately, they're passing away now. If they didn't perish um, on that day, the stuff they breathed in, everything, sadly, their lives are being taken way too soon uh, for purely selfless acts. Um, and that is so commended. So to each and every single family out there who has lost a loved one to something of that sort, God bless. Um, I'm so sorry. Thoughts, prayers, all the things with all of you because these holidays can't be easy. We touched on the ones who just don't have anybody. It's very hard, very, very, very hard to know that like everybody's out having fun and celebrating and cheerful and you're just home if you're lucky enough to have a home and depressed and sad and like wondering what you could do differently. And I think it's important that if we can just at least give them words of inspiration to do that, um, light a couple things up and meaning like the little tree and things like that, and hopefully they can find some humor in it. And you know, I would say this to those people right now: do not let society beat you down about this disease, because as y'all know, I don't think it's a disease. That's why it literally is. Addiction is a scam because I think it's bigger than that. I think that it's mental health stuff. I think it's behavioral stuff. Um, one I like to use. I hope he. I hope I reach my goals, and because I reach my goals, then obviously this is something that he would hear about me saying. And it is absolutely not a knock on this gentleman whatsoever. He is a freaking stud of a man. But I like to use Mr. Tom Brady as a perfect example when it comes to addiction because of he had such a love and a passion for football that if you applied the same ideology and rationale and logic to the debate of if it's a disease or not, to his decision making on playing that final year of football, well, it had very serious repercussions for his life. Unfortunately, the relationship with his wife didn't work out. That's their personal business. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm literally only using it as an example. It's nothing personal. It's just to give you all who might be beating yourselves up another way to look at it. Like, you know what? Yeah, like it's not just like, yeah, maybe this alcohol's got me right now. Maybe these opiates got me right now, but I can get away from that. I absolutely can, and I can go on to live a great life. I promise you, you can. I'm sitting here literally living proof. Um, Never wanted kids, never in a million years. Actually, used to joke and say that I was just gonna George Clooney it, never have kids, just kind of chill, do my thing. At the time, I was working on the road, doing like slate roofs, hiring construction, things like that. So you make decent money and you live fast and you have fun and you know it's it's in those moments in those early 20s and stuff you feel like you're you're kind of checking off all the boxes. You got your pocket full of cash. You're out and about. You're having drinks. You're eating good dinners. You're seeing beautiful women. Like you think, but then you get older and you realize that it's not about that. What I did not see for coming was finding out that I had a child on the way. Um, and as y'all know, that happened in 2015. I found that out. In 2016, she was born. And the God's honest truth is, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So, get clean in 14, and by 16, I got a kid who I said I never wanted, like, never wanted a kid. And it's been a great life since then. So you never know. So my advice on this, if we want to like stick to the me giving you advice, would be just stay that course. Just trust that process. I promise you, if you really want it and you really focus on it, it will absolutely work out in your favor. Now one thing I'm not big on is the roomification stuff. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that terminology, you can do a quick little search on the internet just to get a formal definition of it. But basically, I'm paraphrasing now, but it breaks down like this: like if you're battling with depression, and all you do day in and day out is sit around and talk about and think about and focus on your depression. Well, like you're kind of manifesting that depression into yourself. Like until you can take your mind off it, until you can focus and shift your mindset to like the good that's happening, because there's always bad. Like there's always bad, no matter what. No matter what, there's always bad. I have all this that I'm trying to do and trying to build with this business plan, and like everything was going good. Hadn't done, still haven't done any advertising. Released a few videos, released a couple guests, opened with the guest I wanted. Next guest I hit worked out. He got his transplant surgery like a couple days before I aired it. So then we were able to put a little blurb in there. And so like 4 or 5 videos, purely organic growth. And like these aren't crazy numbers, but for just some random person in a small town in a little studio deciding he wants to make a podcast, that algorithm already had them things that one up to like 200 views. And then the hard drive stuff happened, and it's like, damn man, all that, So it's essentially kind of with the algorithm, obviously not with the viewers, with the subscribers and things like that, but with the algorithm, it's like starting over again. There's always going to be some negative that comes. I promise that. I promise that. Life is not perfect. If life was perfect, none of us would have gotten into these situations that we got ourselves into. Um, but the best part about that is we got ourselves into them. So you know what that means? That means we can get ourselves out of them. I can't say that enough. Like we absolutely can. We have two choices when it comes to that. We can sit around, we can feel sorry for ourselves, we can still make the same piss poor decisions, and we can mask it with drugs, we can mask it with alcohol. Because as you heard in that interview with Bill over at Rods for Recovery, he quoted a gentleman. Like, this is where I need to do way better with my journalistic standards, but he quoted an individual who spoke on this in the sense of alcohol isn't the problem, alcohol's the solution. And that's so on point. It's like that. What's going on today? Well, today sucked. My boss was so I'm going to the store. I was only going to get a 6 pack. And then after lunch break, so I'm grabbing a 12 pack and I'm going home and blah, 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 blah. So if we get ourselves into these situations, we can get ourselves out. We can learn coping skills. We can whatever the case may be. Maybe it's finding a new job. That stuff can be scary. Change is scary. Um, but if you're here and you're watching this, you're either just like being super nosy or you're intrigued by the idea of change. And to which, if you are that, I encourage it. I don't think you should change everything about yourself. I just think you should make healthier decisions for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, for the ones that truly care about you, the ones that you get so mad at when they tell you that they're worried and they tell you that they want you to do things differently. And it just, at least for me, it made me irate. I was like, I got, what do you mean? I'm doing this, and this, and you're focused on that stupid little thing over there because I like to escape once in a while. Try to walk a mile off in my shoes, and then come talk to me. And I'd always justify it that way. I still struggle with that. Thankfully, I'm not resorting to opiates when I'm doing that, but I still struggle with that stuff. So I guess the broader message, because I want to kind of keep this one a little bit short. It is Christmas. I don't want to take up too much time. Is just let's make sure we're giving for the right reasons. And you know, the one of the things that one of my qualms with the way they go about inpatient and outpatient and all that stuff is they want you to take. They want you to take. They want you to take their word. They want you to take their advice. They want you to take everything they say as gospel and do exactly what they say you need to do because that is the way. Some of them are so extreme, they literally will tell you that, like, it doesn't matter if you have kids. Like, forget about the kids. I'm not kidding. I've heard this more than once. I've sat in a group and had someone literally tell a patient, like, those kids are that's the least of your concerns right now. And how they came full circle with it was they said, if you don't take care of yourself, well, then you can't take care of those kids. Well, here's the problem with that. And this is when it brings that ramification full circle. Um, the smallest little goals that you accomplish are so good for your mental health. Like, one lady was quoted on a podcast, like the biggest podcast, like on the Godfather of podcasting. I feel like it's probably whatever. Might as well just say his name. Um, on Joe's podcast, and running errands are literally healthy because you're checking off your grocery list. You're getting things done. You're accomplishing goals. Now, are they goals of like, I want to get a job, I want to work this amount of overtime for 3 years in a row because if I do that with my 3% raise every year, times this and times that, then that'll give me an extra $65,000 in cash in the bank as long as I'm smart about things that then I can go to the bank with to put a down payment on a house. And as long as everything's working right with the markets and all the stars align, I can buy a house. Bam, goal accomplished. That's a big goal. Those are fun goals to to accomplish. Also, I'm talking about the minor goals. So let's get back to the kid thing. I don't think it's. I don't think it. I mean, maybe in extreme situations, it, for the safety of the child, okay, fine. But when you're talking about this is outpatient, I was sitting in when I heard these things. When we're talking about outpatient, like those motherly instincts, those fatherly instincts to provide, when you strip someone of those, like now that's just there at all times, knowing that they're not doing those things that they're supposed to be doing. If they have any speck of moral fabric in their being, that's a negative impact on their road to recovery because they're not getting the natural, literally natural things that they need to get done. So my perspective on quite a bit of it is different. I hope that it's not just me. I hope there's a lot of you out there that can relate to that and understand and agree with that and come on board because I'll end with this. As I said in the beginning, I truly believe that I, not by myself, because you get to a point no matter what with any business, you need help. You need a good team around you. You need to, whether it's recruiting, whether you're blessed enough to have people in your life already that you can put in positions of areas that need attentiveness paid to them, um, and you can trust them, then that's fine. But you're never going to be able to do it by yourself. However, I truly believe if we go about this with practical sober living houses, proper rehabilitation centers, that then I can get my message to these individuals and we can help bring society back to the thriving force that it once was before all of this drug nonsense. The reason I feel that way, in my mind, is pretty simple. Maybe it doesn't sit that way with others, but it's like this. The best the best drug addicts that I ever came across, they were only able to make it to the level that they made it to because they were like creative geniuses. Do you know what that would do for our economy if we had it set up to where these sober living houses and these rehabs were like a pipeline generating people back in as positive, productive members of society, finding their good traits, finding what they like to do, what they excel at. Some of them may not even know what their like peak can be. And we get them on that path and back into the workforce. Some of them may create their own businesses. Some of them may go on to literally change the world. But they're not going to do that sitting on Skid Row. They're not going to do that living at home at 35, 40 years old and spending every dollar they can get to go get their fix. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's about 2024 is about to wrap up. And I'm not going to name names on here because I don't like doing that. But I could come off the hip, and I live in a very small area. Like the county that we live in, I couldn't give you a total population, but most of the school districts graduate between like 60 and 120 kids. Um, and I've been out of the game for 10 years, and I easily could come off with 3 to 5 in the last couple months who have died from drug overdose. Only one, I'm pretty sure, actually knew that they were doing heroin. I haven't dug too deep on the others, but knowing who they are, well, maybe two, but knowing who the others are, it was probably cocaine. It was probably cocaine with heroin in it. And that is sad. That is sad as hell. We need to stop it. I believe I can at least help. Um, Together, if we can all just give the ones of us that have the opportunity, the ones of us that are blessed enough to be able to, if we can just give a little bit of love, a little bit of support, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of something to the ones who need it the most, in those most crucial times. I believe we'll win this fight. We're goddamn America. We ain't lost it much. So let's do this. Let's celebrate our holidays. If you know somebody out there that's by themselves right now, pick up the phone, shoot them a text, call them. They're probably not going to answer. They don't want to talk on the phone right now. But I goddamn promise you, sorry, Lord, that text is going to resonate with them. And they might not text you right back because they might still be stuck in that freaking god awful. Oh man, it makes me cringe thinking about it. I've been in them spots so many times. But a week from now, 2 weeks from now, they're going to remember that. They're going to think about that. It's going to put a smile on their face. And you know what? If things go good for them, they're probably going to hit you up next year at this time because they're going to want to beat you to that Merry Christmas. I'm going to end it on this because I always do. Y'all know that. If nobody's told you this yet today, I love you. And I promise I'm not the only one. Merry Christmas to all y'all that celebrate Christmas. For those of you who don't, happy Hanukkah. Go check us out on that Twitter page. That's another thing you'll never catch me. You'll never catch me doing a like and subscribe and all the flashiness. But you know what we could do, since it is Christmas, and I'm about to get in some Christmas gear here to go live on these, at least one group, go live in quick. So my general outfit for every show is, let's see, I've tried showing you before, I think, I don't remember. But I always go with my tie-dye shirt. But then, for nostalgia reasons, I like to wear a pair of my Dare sweatpants. I just so happen to have an extra pair of those because, man, getting old sucks. Oh, I just so happen to not know if a medium or a large is going to fit me. To have another pair of these right here. I'm going to lower the standards a little bit for it because it's Christmas. First 50 people, 50, 50. We're not doing 100 tonight. We're doing 50 because we're in a given mood. First 50 people to comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, and like the video. So I'm not going to pop up the likes, the subscribe, all the things. Hit that bell, da 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 da. You'll never catch me doing that. I will ask if y'all want to win something, whether it's gear. If y'all been following me, you know we give out stuff like this. You got, CJ Stroud rookie cards, pinks and greens. We got graded Wembies. The stuff's all up. There's videos right now. We got multiple graded Wembies. There's stuff right now up that you can go win these things by doing those same exact things. There's videos up right now. You can multiple videos right now. $100 bill. 3 of you. You're not gonna want to miss tomorrow's because we go with a little bit more than that. Herbert rookie slabbed up. If you choose to go with something like a Caitlin Clark, and you get to choose from some other stuff. Maybe a raw Wemby to throw in with her. Maybe you're a Fins fan and you want a Tua rookie. We got options on these hobbies. On that Rods for Recovery, we're giving away 2. They will be the only 2 in existence. AIAS, Addiction is a Scam, endorsed, custom made, your choice, bass or trout poles. Same deal. Be subscribed to the channel, like the video, and comment. First 100 people, bam, you're in the drawing. So for those 2 rods, 100 people, it's not horrible odds, really. It's not, for a custom rod, and these aren't no bogus rods. The one I did with Jordana, giving away a high-end pickleball set. Same deal. See, and for those of y'all that are already subscribers, you already entered because you're subscribed. You just got to like and comment. Like, you already got one of the boxes checked off. It's easy money. It's easy stuff. If you don't even collect them, just sell them on eBay after. Go get yourself something. But for these, Crispy Fresh Dare, I'm going to say size large and let you know that I'm definitely lying. I ordered mediums, I ordered large. I had to keep one size. These are the size I did not keep, and I'm lying about them being a large. PacSuns, tag still on them. 50 people. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll randomize it and we'll run it through so I can load the code in the comments. So if you forget about it and you want to go check back in 2 weeks, the code will be in there. You just go in, you get the code, you go to the site, you type the code in, you see the drawing, you see who won. Now we're out of here. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Y'all be good out there. I love y'all. Stay safe.